Good evening, students. This is Mr. Glenn. Again, of course, unless you wouldn't have been tuning in, right? All right, so here we go. We're going to be talking about factoring by grouping. And so in the previous video, we talked about factoring a polynomial or a trinomial when the coefficient, the first coefficient is 1. Now, as you can see, this is a 2 and it's not a 1. So the way that we work this problem is we're going to multiply 2 times 15. Now, 2 times 15 gives us 30. Now, we're going to factor 30. Okay, we're going to take the factors of 30, and we're going to find out what the factors of 30 are that will equal 11x, or just 11. So we got 1, 30, 2, 15, 3, 10. There's no 4. 5 and 6. And so as you can see, 5 and 6 are going to be the factors that equal 11. So we're going to rewrite the equation. Okay. I'm going to erase this, okay, for space. If you need that information, just go back or rewind it, right? All right, so we got 5, so we're going to have 2x squared, so we have 5 and 6, so it's going to be plus 5x plus 6x plus 15. Okay, so in a previous lesson, we talked about there being 4 terms, right? So with these 4 terms, we are going to group them. That's why it's called factor by grouping. And we're going to take out what the greatest common factor is between 2x and 5x. And this one's going to be x. So we're factoring out x. We're left with 2x plus 5. All right, got that? And so then here we're going to factor out 3. And that's a positive 3. And we're left with 2x plus 5. And so we can factor out again. We're going to factor out 2x plus 5 and x plus 3. And here's our answer. And we can always check it, right? This is 5x plus 6x. I did 5 times x, 5x, 2x times 3 is 6x. That gives us 11x. So therefore, this answer is correct. All right. So moving on to the next problem. Had to move my desk. Hope you don't mind that. All right. So what we're going to do here, we're going to find out if there is a greater common factor in the beginning. You would have did that here, but obviously you can see that it's not a greater common factor because you have 2, 11, 15. We're going to look at 12, 64, 48. And obviously, because they're all even numbers, you can take out at least 2. But we want to look and see if we can take out anything more than 2. And we can take out 4, right? So we're going to divide each term by 4. So 12 divided by 4. So first of all, we're going to take out the 4. We can't forget about it. We're going to have, that's going to be a part of our answer. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then bring down the n squared. 64 divided by 4 is 16. So you got 16n. And then 48, right? So minus 48 or negative 48 divided by 4 is going to give us 12. Right? So that's the one step that was different from here. We took out the greatest common factor. Every other process or step that we did from here, from step 1, 2, and 3, is going to be same here. We are going to take a look at the 3 and the negative 12. We're going to multiply 3 times negative 12. And we're going to end up with, okay, let me make sure you understand that that's not 3x. That is 3 times, should I do 3 times negative 12, which gives us negative 36. And I'm going to find out what the factors are for negative 36 that will give me a positive 16. So I know that my larger number is going to be positive. So we got 136. So I got to have a negative, right? So that's a negative, and negative 2 and 18. And so as you can see, negative 2 and 18, if I add those together, I'm going to get 16, right? And once again, for time, or not time, but for space, I'm going to erase that. Okay. Do you remember those numbers? Hopefully you wrote them down. All right, so we're going to use 3n squared. We had negative 2. We're going to use negative 2n plus, you remember, it was 18n minus 12. All right, remember our number was negative 36. All right, so here we go. So now we're going to factor by grouping. And just like we factored over here, we're going to factor this problem. We're going to factor out the letter N. Now, what I do is I can see it, but let me walk you through what I did. I looked at the coefficient of 3 and the coefficient of 2, and they do not have a greater common factor other than 1. And then I look at the variable n squared and n, and the greatest common factor between those two is n. All right. So I am going to factor out, and I can't forget about this 4. I'm going to factor out the n, and I am left with 3n minus 2. Okay. So I can't forget about this 4. And then I am going to factor out here, greatest common factor, 1, 2, let's see, both can, 3, can we do 4? No. What about 6? Yes. Both can factor out, have a greater common factor of 6. That's a positive 6. So we're left with 3n minus 2. And the greatest common factor is 3n minus 2 times n plus 6. And can't forget about the 4. All right, and so that's factor by grouping. The first step that we did, or the first problem that we did, we looked at 2, 11, and 15. And what we did, we multiplied the 2 times 15. That gave us 30 to find out what are the factors that would give us 11. That was 5 and 6. On this particular problem, we factored out 4 first, and then we multiplied 3 times negative 12, which gave us 36. And then we found out 2 numbers that would add up to be 16. All right. And so there you have it. Factor by grouping. Thank you so much for your this opportunity to actually, go over this information with you. Share it. Also subscribe. Have comments. Please let me know what those are. And if you need tutoring, please hit me up in my email. Okay. And my email will be in the description or the comments. All right. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.